Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to review the Iron Fist trailer. I'm excited about the Iron Fist show. I've been meaning to review this trailer for some time now. And I believe that Iron Fist, if I'm not mistaken, will be scheduled there on March 17th. And so we finally get our last Defender. Um, to join with Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, The Punisher, Daredevil, and we get Iron Fist. Uh, so, if you don't know the story of Iron Fist and who he is, he has one of these origin stories similar to uh, uh, Batman, the Green Arrow. Um, he's basically the son of a corporate CEO who runs Rand Industries. Um, in the comic books, they're kind of like on this expedition to the Himalayas, searching for this lost city. And Danny as a small child, they're basically ambushed by their by his father's kind of his right hand man in the company. His name is Meacham, and Meacham. His motivation is one of the age-old motivations: envy, jealousy. He wants the company from Danny's father, and he as well wants a wife for Danny's mom. And so he basically, kills the father whilst on the expedition, and he leaves both Danny and his mom stranded out in the Himalayas because his mom refuses to return his affections, and so she's actually going to be in the comics, eaten by wolves. Now again, some of these shows don't go exactly like the comics go, so it could be some differences, throughout the adaptation. But I'm excited about this, this story. So far, I like what the trailers look like, and so basically to continue on the story a little bit, Danny's mom basically sacrifices herself to save him from wolves, and she's attacked and eaten up by these wolves. And Danny's rescued by these monks from this lost city that they were searching for, which I believe is pronounced. I thought it was pronounced Kung-Lun in the comics, but apparently on the trailer, Danny's pronouncing it Kung Lao. So I don't know if that's done on purpose or if that's the proper pronunciation. I don't know, but he's basically adopted by these monks, and it's kind of one of these revenge stories. Kind of like the Count of Monte Cristo story. And Danny is, taught by these monks, but he doesn't really have a place to put his anger as he, seeking revenge on Meacham, the person who killed his father, caused his family all this pain. And these monks, can't basically grant him revenge, but they do introduce him to martial arts. And Danny, learns from these monks and these immortal beings from this city, because apparently the inhabitants of Kung Lao are immortals. They don't die, and they teach him all these various types of martial arts, and Danny learns to master them all. So he's like a master of all these various types of martial arts, and he learns to use his chi and channel his chi, and when he does that, he's able to focus all his power into one blow. And this is another thing I like about the trailer, because as you can kind of see under his skin, as his chi force is glowing, and I really like that. I really like that effect in the show. I think that's going to be real cool. But anyway, getting back to Danny. Danny basically, he learns all these different martial artist styles, and then they have this title called the Iron Fist, which basically represents the greatest warrior. And Danny has to battle this dragon. He has to actually fight this dragon and reach in and take the dragon's heart out in order to be granted the powers of the Iron Fist, in which his fists become hardened and indestructible, and he's able to basically destroy anything, like pretty much with his punch and his blows. So he's able to defeat this dragon. Now I don't quite understand if they're going to go this route in the show. I think they might actually adapt that part. Another thing is going to be quite interesting about this particular Defender or character, Netflix Marvel character they're doing, is most of the characters we've seen thus far, whether it be Daredevil or Jessica Jones or the Punisher or Luke Cage, they've all pretty much taken place in the cities. In the city, it's been this very urban terrain that they've navigated around, but with Danny Rand here, he's basically, I'm wondering, is the show going to do Kung Lao and the Himalayas, or are they going to just skip, afterwards when he's back in the city, which, could get pretty expensive, could require a lot of CGI and things like that. So I don't know how far they're going to go with that. I don't know what the budget is with the show. But so far, what I've seen looks pretty good, Marvel, along with these Netflix shows, they've done a great job so far, with producing these shows. I like the content of it. I like the fact that, they're able to push the rating if need be. Not saying that they'll probably need to do that in this, but, but it's just kind of still good to have that, that open to them. Back to the comics, of course, Danny, he's able to, become the Iron Fist. He defeats the dragon, and he also is granted, he has the right now to be granted immortality like the rest of the inhabitants of Kung Lun or Kung Lao. But there's only one time, like every 10 years, to leave this, this mystical city and return back to Earth or back to his realm. And Danny would rather do that, according to the comics, give up immortality, go back to the to his world to battle and defeat Meacham for the crimes he's done against his family, and so he goes back and things like that, and he's he seemingly lets Rand Industries know he's back, and again, I don't know if the show is going to do like the comic books, but so far a lot of the things are looking similar to the comics. Also in some of the scenes we get him teamed up with Colleen Wang, who is another great fighter. I believe in the comics she's later gonna team up with Misty Knight from the Luke Cage series, Detective Misty Knight. Also in the trailers we get Night Nurse again, played by Rosario Dawson. She's just, she has to be in all the shows. She's kind of like what ties all the shows together, I guess. Kind of like how they do in the Marvel movies. And so, so far I like what I'm seeing. I like the story. Obviously, Iron Fist is going to be, quite different from the other Defenders we've gotten so far, with his background story, with his place in society and things like that. So I think it's going to, make for a very interesting show. I can't wait to see him interact with the rest of the Defenders or the rest of the Marvel characters, which at some point I'm sure they're probably going to try to do something like that, in the future. But you know, it's looking pretty. It's looking pretty good. You know, so far with the scenes we've you know, we've gotten throughout the you know, the series so far. Um, and I think that pretty much covers everything about what we've gotten so far with Mr. Danny Rand. You know, again, the information I'm going on is the comic books, but like I've said, these, when they do these adaptions from the comic books to the Netflix series, you know, there have been changes in just about every one of them I've seen so far. They've been these, you know, various changes. And they've always worked out pretty good, you know, very good, I think. And so, you know, again, guys, I'm excited about the show. I hope you guys are too. Let me know in the comments section if you think there's going to be a lot of CGI in this, you know, in the show. Are we going to get a lot of it? Because I haven't heard anything about the budget, so I don't know about that. So I'll be curious to see how they go about that. But thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, take care.